Hello and welcome. This is the Cybersecurity Bachelor's and Master's Degree Open House. We should have people transferring in from two other sessions, and so we'll just get started in about 2 minutes.
Hello all. Hello, Nicholas. Thanks for putting a shout out there. How's it going, Christopher? Awesome. Hello all. Do we have anybody out there on the joining us today from Texas? I'm coming from you from Dallas, Texas. So if you have any Texans out there, hello and hello to everybody. Atlanta, Georgia, nice city.
If you're just joining, welcome. This is a Cybersecurity Bachelor's and Master's Degree Open House. We'll be getting started in just about 30 seconds. We're just waiting for other people to join from the other session. We have quite a few people in this open house. That's great.
Yeah, I love all the places that everybody's coming in from. It's great.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. So welcome. I'm just going to say it one more time if you've just started. This is the open house breakout session for the Bachelor and Master of Science in Cybersecurity and Information Assurance. And so we're excited that you're here from the WGU School of Technology. My name is Jason Hammond. I'm the lead academic program manager for these programs, and I'm going to be, kind of hosting and emceeing this particular session. And so we also have with us Mike Morris, who's our acting vice president of the cybersecurity programs and also our senior director. And so he'll be able to give an introduction to himself, and he'll be the primary speaker for this organization. So before we get started, I just want to share that there is a chat function and there is a Q&A. And so I'll be managing the chats, and as you can see, it looks like it's working. And if you have questions at the very end, we're going to go about 20 minutes in our presentation and then allow about 10 minutes for open questions. And so as you go through, if you have a question that's pretty generalizable to the whole group of people here, please put it in the Q&A. And so I'll be monitoring both of those. And with that, I don't think this particular setup allows you to ask questions via a microphone. And so please just put your questions into the chat and we'll work on those as soon as we're done with our presentation. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Mike Morris, who is our Associate Dean and Director of the Cybersecurity and Information Assurance Programs, and let him introduce himself, and we'll go through the slides from there.
Thanks, Jason. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate your time. So again, name's Mike Morris, an Associate Dean over the cybersecurity programs here at WGU. We have a associate's degree for the Navy only. We have a bachelor's degree open to everyone, and then we have a master's degree open to everyone. Just real quick, just so you know who I am, kind of what my background is. I did 25 years with the FBI as a special agent in cyber crimes and computer forensics, as well as in terrorism and counterintelligence matters. I did that for 25 years, retired out of the FBI, went to work for PwC as senior director over incident response global. Did incident response work for a couple of years, and I was on the airplane every day. And then went to work as a CISO for a Fortune 500 energy company. Did that for a couple of years, and then I came to WGU as a course instructor in the master's program, and did that for a couple of years, and then became a program chair, meaning where I was over one program. And then from there, I went to become an associate dean over multiple programs, so all the cyber programs here at WGU. And so our program is currently the largest one in the United States for our undergrad program. We have about 20,000 students in our undergrad program. We're an NSA designated program, and we'll talk a little bit more about that down as we go. But very large program, uh, and so yeah, look forward to telling you a little bit more. So Jason, how about next one? So one of the questions we get asked is why cybersecurity? What's going on there? So one of the resources I'd really like to for you guys to take a look at is when you get a chance is cyberseek.org. You can see it on the bottom of the slide there. It is a great resource to be able to see what's going on in cybersecurity. It aligns to the NICE framework, so you can go in and see what roles or work roles are there. What and you can look by city, you can look by state and see what kind of openings there are, what kind of jobs there are on there. And so this actual breakdown that you see there, one of the unique things about cybersecurity is there are many jobs in cybersecurity. It's not just, it's like you either, sometimes people think, oh, I'm just, I'm going to be a pen tester. I want to be doing that, or I'm going to be sitting in a SOC doing that. There is a whole from soup to nuts jobs in cybersecurity. Whether you like doing, whether you want to be a pen tester or whether you want to be a SOC analyst too, if you want to do governance and compliance, if you wanted to do vulnerability, if you want to be a systems architect, if you wanted to do, a security architect or a security engineer, there's many roles across the stack for you to do. And so the breakdown that you see here on this particular slide is broken down by NICE work roles. So total, there's 457,000 approximately. This is almost like a balance sheet. It's good that, those stats are good at the time they're made. These were just released earlier in June. And so, and you can also see on there some of the certifications that employers are looking for on there. So that's kind of what that breakdown is. Go ahead, Jason. So this just came out today. I subscribe to. I do a lot of work. I did a lot of work with the DoD, and I still do work with the DoD. And this is actually a slide an article that came out this morning. And the gentleman speaking is Mark Gorak. He's the director of DoD's cyber academic program, and he's actually looking for right now. He was in front of Congress today, telling them that, oh, by the way, I need 20,000 people. And out of the 20,000, I need 7,000 are absolutely critical, mission critical to keeping the DoD up and running. And so, it is that's just one employer. And so I put that on there just because we're meeting today, and I thought it was timely, And so, I mean, the federal government hires a lot of our graduates. We have in our programs, we have currently have approximately about 30 to 40% of our students are military, former military, or military dependents are in our programs. And one of the reasons why is because all the certifications, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but all of our certifications that we offer, many of those align to the DoD's 8140 framework for job openings. And so it provides a good pathway for a lot of these individuals. But anyway, there's just one employer today looking for 20,000 jobs. Jason, go ahead. So this right now, what you're looking at is actually again from cyberseek.org, and you can look and see the numbers on the left are by job role. And again, as I mentioned, there are many job functions within security that you can do for an organization. So it's showing by job role. You can actually then drill down. You can drill down by state. You can drill down by job role. You can look and see, like, one of the things that's really cool about this is if you, let's say you come out of a company and you start as a help desk, or you start as a SOC analyst one, and you want to become a pen tester. It'll tell you on other parts of cybersecurity, it'll show you how do you get there. What skills do you need to build? What certifications can help you get there? And so it helps you build a pathway as well. So again, cyberseek.org, I'd highly encourage you to look at it if you're considering going into security. All right, Jason. So we have two programs, the two main programs. As I mentioned, we have an associate's degree. So if you're in the Navy and you're an E5 or below, if you're Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, and an E5 or below, they offer a free AS degree through the Navy Community College, and they use WGU as one of their providers on there. But if you're not in that, then we offer we offer a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. The bachelor's degree, our program is NSA designated. We're a center of excellence on there. Our school is a center of excellence. The program has been designated as a program of excellence. And one thing that does, because because we have a program that's been designated and the school is now designated, it allows students to apply for a lot of different scholarships and a lot of different opportunities. For instance, the DoD's Scholarship for Service program that they have. So we have a couple of students now that are in that program, and so they actually were able to get their education paid for. They got a $29,000 stipend each year, and got a computer. And then when they come out, they have a job, and they go through a full background check and everything. I will tell you one thing: if you're thinking about going into security, if you have if you have a past where maybe you've had some mistakes that came up, and you have a past that maybe you've been arrested or something. Depending on what happened there, you may or may not be able to qualify for a security check, or background, get passing a background. And so I just throw that out there. So that is one thing in security, because even with companies, they're going to do a background on you to make sure that you're going to be protecting the company's secrets. You're going to be protecting an organization's secrets, and so you have the keys to the kingdom. And so whether you go into the government and they do a background check, or whether you go into industry and they do a background check, like I said, they will look to see if you have any issues or not. And so if you're going into security, and you have some of those kinds of issues, that may be something we want to talk about a little bit before you head down that path, because it could be a showstopper. So again, I just level set on the front end. Um, as far as the job roles go, as I mentioned, the undergraduate degree gets you ready for things like security engineer, SOC analyst, gets you ready for compliance on there. If you're looking, it'll get you ready for manager to senior manager kind of role. If you're looking for advancement into the director realms, into the CISO realms, the master's program is really going to be better aligned for you. Jason, go ahead. Again, this is pretty much what I already talked about a little earlier, in that our undergraduate degree has been designated by DHS and NSA as a Center of Academic Excellence. Our school has been designated a School of Academic Excellence, and so that works to your benefit. We're also seeking accreditation by ABET in there, and then we're currently in the process of going through that right now, but we have not received it yet. But we are going through that designation right now. Again, these are all things to um, show you, the student, that that we are a serious player, that we're here to provide you the best education, so that you're in a position to either improve, either get a promotion in your current job, you know, qualify for a job somewhere else, and hopefully, get you into a career in cybersecurity. Go ahead, Jason. Yeah, so as far as, again, uh, the bachelor's program has been designated on there. The master and the school's been designated. The master's program has been designed around the NICE framework has been designed around the NSA framework as well. And we also map it around the CISSP. So for those who are, one of the certifications in within cybersecurity that are looked for in a lot of job applications is the CISSP. And so we have had students that graduated from us and went and took the exam within a week and passed the certification exam. Now, again, I'm not promising, I'm not saying anything that, if you get our master's degree, you're gonna, pass the CISSP on the first attempt. Not saying that at all. I'm just saying that we're mapped to and aligned to what's covered within that assessment. So, Jason, next slide, please. So in our BSCSIA degree, you can see the certifications there that you will earn in to get your degree. So WG is a little bit different. You probably, I know you just came from one meeting in there, an earlier meeting. So since we're competency based, you can do a couple of different things. So being competency based means, if you're somebody who has been doing the job for the last 10 years and now you want to get a degree to better yourself for a promotion or a new role, or a new line of work on there, but you've gained hands-on experience. Competency-based education allows you to move quickly through the material. And so what I mean by that is day one, you can ask to take the final exam. And so if it's a topic that that you have done in the past, and you look through the material and you say, yeah, I know this. As soon as you show that you're competent, meaning you pass the assessment, you move on to the next course. In our undergraduate degree, the BSCSIA program, you have to take at least 12 CUs of work every term. Our terms are 180 days. So within 180 days, you have to have passed 12 CUs worth of courses. But after you pass that 12 CUs of courses, you can take as many more courses as you can fit in and complete within that 180 days. And so uh, at WGU, we have three types of assessments. So we have an objective assessment, which is a multiple choice exam. We have a performance-based assessment on some of our courses, which is, think of hands-on keyboard or writing a paper, that kind of thing. And then we have third-party assessments. And so on our third-party assessments, in order to pass the course, you have to pass the third-party test. And so WGU will provide you two vouchers on there. So for instance, let's look there. You see CompTIA A plus is the first one listed. So that assessment will provide you that in that assessment you have to show knowledge of both system hardware and software. How do the different components work and that kind of thing. And so what would happen would be you would study, you would work with our course instructors, you would attend the webinars, you do the labs, and when you got yourself ready, when you felt ready for the assessment, then you would get in touch and you would get your voucher, and then you would log on to CompTIA, and then you would take your exam. And then once you pass your exam, that they would pass your score to WGU, and you get marked off as passing the course. If you were not successful, WGU would have a series of work that you would do to get ready. Your course instructors would look at the areas that you're weak on and help you work through and understand the concepts that you needed to additional work on. And then you would again go take the assessment. WGU will pay for two vouchers. If you need, let's say that you're still not successful, attempts number 3 and number 4, if you had to go that high, would be paid for by you at our reduced cost. So the voucher would not be the stated voucher; it would be a much lower rate, but it would be paid for you by you, the student. Um, we allow up to 4 times, up to 4 attempts to pass the assessment. And then after that, you would probably be asked to do a program change. So cyber is not for everybody. I mean, cyber, a lot of times people come into cyber and they are excited about it, but then they find out that it's going to take work. And it will take, I would account for probably at least 20 hours worth of work every week. And that's assuming, so if you're coming in with zero knowledge about cybersecurity, and you don't have any background in IT and you don't have any cybersecurity background, expect to do at least 20 to maybe even 25 hours worth of work. And so one of the things you have to ask yourself before you start is, where am I going to get the 20 to 25 hours? So you really need to kind of go through and kind of do a self audit and decide, okay, on Monday I have this thing and that thing, and I got, I'm going to spend time with the kids. I'm going to spend time with my parents. I'm going to do X, Y, or Z. But you got to make sure that, when you look at that 7 days, that week, you got to carve out 20 hours. So make sure before you sign up, that you can, come up with that 20-hour investment in yourself. Your future self will definitely thank you for it. But it's you're going to have to make that investment. And so, some courses, again, you'll be able to get through really quick, and maybe that week will be a shorter week, but some weeks are going to be long, and you may have to put in more time. But so anyway, getting back to these certifications, as you can see there, these are industry rated certs, and so these are, um, all the certs will be, what we're shooting for is that when you graduate from WGU, you will have the degree, you'll have the certifications so that you can get the interviews uh, out there and hopefully get the jobs so that you can, better your life on there. Currently, we have one voucher in there. One of the courses, our cloud security course, is an optional voucher. And so you'll take a internal assessment, a WGU assessment, and then once you pass it, we will give you a voucher. We'll give you one voucher to take that exam. With that voucher is good for a year, so you'll have a year to prepare to go take the certification exam. But all the rest of the courses that you see there, all the rest of the certifications you see there, you will earn as part of your degree. Okay, Jason, next one.
Just to check on time, Mike, we have 10 minutes, so we'll hurry through to the Q&A. So
Okay, I'll keep moving. Real quick, as far as our master's program, we have a lot of our students who go on from our bachelor program and go into our master's program. The reason why is we built a bridge, meaning that you don't have to take as many courses. So if you have an undergraduate degree in the bachelor's program, you can carve off 3 courses. And so instead of having to take 10 courses total in the master's, you only have to take 7. Go ahead, Jason. And in the master's program, you can see the certifications you earn are the CYSA, the Pen Test Plus, um, and the ISC squared CC. We have 2 optional vouchers in the master's program. We have the CAS Plus, and CAS Plus, think of as a senior security or enterprise architect type of certification. It's right up there. Really, the 3 big ones for security are the CISSP, the CISM, and the CAS Plus. And so in the master's program, you'll get an optional voucher for 2 of those, the CAS Plus as well as the CISM. Go ahead, Jason. So again, this kind of gets down to what I mentioned earlier. Our students that are successful who get through our program, and again, average time in our program for and Jason, please correct me because I know you track this, but you track this all the time. Uh, Tell them what's our monthly, what's our time to
29
get through the
months
two.
is typical for students who finish. So
Yeah,
about
and
two and a
so
half years.
So that really is on a 4-year degree. And so some go through it faster, some take longer. But again, really the biggest one is commit your time. Know where your 20 to 25 hours a week is going to come from. Work with your mentors and work with your course instructors. They can really help you get ready to learn the concepts the quickest on there. Again, you have support at all times. And if you compare us to other universities, where our cost is very low compared to other universities. So, Jason, do we have one or two more slides? Yeah, one of the last things I want to mention here, I really want one of the things that I really stress hard is building hands-on keyboard skills. So two of the types of skills, or actually the three skills, you're gonna learn technical knowledge, you're gonna get your certifications on there. We want you to be able to learn, work on your soft skills, learning how to work in teams, work with other people, that kind of thing. And we want you to learn hands-on keyboard as much as possible. And the reason why is so that when you go in the interviews, not only can you say I've earned these certifications, but I've also did this is the work that I've done. And so you'll things that we've brought into place now. So we have a student cybersecurity club. We currently have about 9,000 students in there, and they do weekly Hack the Box, Try Hack Me, which are both offensive security events, as well as the Nice Cyber Challenges, which are defensive. So two of those you're trying to break into some place. One of those you're trying to protect someplace. We also have teams from the Cyber Club that participate nationally in CCDC and the National Cyber League, which are collegiate events that we always place very high against colleges from all over the United States. Um, our alumni club, we currently have, you can see the numbers there. Our alumni club has been very popular. Women in Tech, we have 1,200. Women in Cybersecurity, which is a brand new, been out for about 5 months now. We have 900 students. And then Sword and Shield is an honor society. We have about 1,000 students in it right now. Go ahead, Jason. I want to make sure I leave time for questions here. Again, that's more information on the degrees. And with that, I wanted to make sure I left enough time for questions. So please go ahead, Jason, with any you got.
All right. So we have a ton of questions, Mike, and so I'll just put it back on this page. But the first question that I'll send to you is about AI and cybersecurity, and so specifically, um, what's the future of AI with security?
Yeah, so the future of AI and security, I work with different companies and I do a lot of talking about this. So AI and security is going to help us significantly. It's going to be a tool and a tool set. Um, gone are the days where you're going to have to grep through, a terabyte worth of logs looking for an event. AI handles routine tasks like that significantly. Does a great job with it. Um, AI will be able to consolidate different attacks, be able to consolidate, give us much better views of what is going on within our organization. Now, the flip side to that, AI, just like anything else, AI is software, AI is data. And if you don't protect that software, and if you don't protect that data, you now have all kinds of holes, and you have all kinds of that tool can be used against you, or that tool can give faulty information out to your customers. Um, I had a large internet provider of where you would go purchase things on the internet from, and you could go into their portal and you could type in anything you wanted in their window, and it would provide you all kinds of information. So it took them a while to patch that. And so AI is a wonderful thing, but at the end of the day, it's software. I mean, it is a tool, and it can help your company and help save time. but it's also something that needs to be protected. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because in security, you're going to wear both hats. In security, you're going to protect AI as well as use it to protect the whole organization. So there's going to be there's a lot of opportunity. You'll see in our most current program guide that you can download from our website, you can see that we have in there courses on AI, courses on using AI in security, and we've built AI across multiple courses in our stack for that very reason. AI is definitely here to stay, and it's how can you utilize it the best and show be able to show your employer. It's a force multiplier.
Awesome, thank you. So for the next question is, one is what's the general outlook, or like where do typical students land for jobs? And are there some really cool companies, top employers that cybersecurity people go to, much like Fang for software developers?
Yeah, so as far as the job market goes, yes, there are a lot of opportunities out there. As far as companies, we've had people in you name the company. I mean, we've had people in every top Fortune 100 company. We've had students go to. We've had students in the White House working in the White House. We've had students, I mean, cool job depends on what you define as cool. We have folks that work in pen testing, folks that work in, protecting, uh, infrastructure, national infrastructure, folks that are working, so it just depends on the job role that you want to do. But yes, there are a lot of opportunities out there. You want to build as much hands-on skills as you can to make yourself as marketable as you can. And that's really where, working with AI tools, being able to do hands-on, being able to do things like the Cyber Club, being able to, we're going to have more experiential learning, more internships on there to be able to get and be able to show employers what you've done. Definitely makes you a lot more marketable.
All right. The next question is, sorry, there's actually quite a bit of them, so let me. Can you tell us about a networking with once you're finished with the degree? How could you network to get a job?
Sure. So as far as networking, so we have a couple different things at WGU. So we have a whole job placement group that can help you with your resumes. They can help you practice your interviewing techniques. We have multiple groups within our alumni that to help you network out there. Our cyber club and alumni club. We actually have a lot of our students that get picked up and hired from our alumni because they worked with them in the cyber club before, and so those were additional kind of networking opportunities that we have. But between our alumni, again, understand our alumni, I think our count is up to, and Jason, help me out here if I misquote, we're up to what, 425, 450? I don't know. I have a counter, I don't have it up right now, but 450,000
Right. Yeah.
alumni within WGU. So yeah, we're like I said, we're currently the largest school for cybersecurity right now. And we have in our tech program where it's been large and been around for a long time. So yeah, we do have a lot of opportunity on there, but we have a lot of resources to help you find the job.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Um, so specific to the question about background checks. I this might draw on your background being with the FBI, but could you speak again to things that might prohibit you from getting into the government? Obviously, you can still
Yeah.
get some jobs without a background checks, but if specifically if you had multiple citizenship or if you had credit ratings that went poorly, could you speak again to that?
Yeah. Yeah, so as far as a lot of things when the government does your background, I'll put it this way, when the government does your background, they ask you to fill out this long form, and they talk to everybody you have on your form, and then they talk to probably four other people for each of those people. You know, 100 names, they would talk to 400 people total, to find out, what kind of person you are. But things that could disqualify you, if you have, obviously, if you have multiple felonies or something, yeah, that's probably, it's going to be kind of hard to get a federal job. Get a top secret would definitely be out. Secret would be, I don't know that, but sometimes we have individuals who, the government has, they do look at your finances to see how your finances are, and if they're explainable, and if they're not, not crazy or anything, then you shouldn't have a problem. But yeah, if you have multiple citizenships, and they're coming from, countries that the government investigates routinely, then that may be tough. If you have felonies, that may be tough. Those would be ones I think that would be kind of hard hurdles to get over.
Great. Okay, I'm going to take four questions, and so you can rest for just a second, Mike. So, question one: Are you recognized by the NSA and the Department of Homeland Security as a National Center of Academic Excellence in Cyber Defense Education? So that's CAE CDE. The answer is yes. We've been a member since 2021. We have it good for 5 years. We're an active participant. We attend all the conferences, and that permits us to have opportunities for scholarships and other things. That leads to the second question: What was the name of the scholarship that Mike mentioned? That was called the CSA Academy Scholarship. Those applications open up in late November, and they go on a year. And we've had a couple successful students get a pretty awesome scholarship based off of that. But then we also have some other scholarships that are available that are for cybersecurity and for women in tech and other things. So the next one is, how much is the fee for the cybersecurity programs? The fee is $200. That puts one tuition, one 6 months tuition at 45.65, and this is found on this web page that you can see here for slash BSCSIA. MSCSIA has the same fee, but it is a little bit more money, I believe. But you can go check it out there. And then the last question is, does WGU offer internships while you're going through the program? So we have a career services. You can go through Handshake and find internships. And then we're working to build that capability within our programs. At this time, it's not required to have an internship, and everything is outside of the degree program itself, but we try to make those opportunities as available as possible. Also, we do have a pen testing course in our program, and we try to make things as hands-on as possible to give you like lab experiences and cyber ranges, so that you can have hands-on skills. All right, so the Q&A, we've had some enrollment counselors come in here as well to help answer some of the questions. I'm a little behind on the chat because it's been really great questions. With the clubs, there is a website you can Google you can Google the WGU Cybersecurity Club and find your way in there. I'll try and put that link in the chat in a few minutes. Um, let's see, and Mike, can you talk about just where there's AI and like entry level jobs, like people tend to want people with more experience, and what does that look like for entry level jobs?
Are you asking what, for AI or
For
for security and
cybersecurity,
AI?
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So as far as yeah, so entry level jobs, um, they are going to be the hard. They are going to they're going to be the take some time to get out there and find. Depends on who's hiring when, where. So for instance, right now the federal government pumped the brakes on hiring right now, and so the article I showed you. The government is now coming back to Congress and saying, "Hey, you pumped the brakes on hiring, and right now we are underwater. We need to have people now." And so, Mark Gorak, the article I put out there for you guys, I met with him personally 3 months ago at the actually at the NSA at an NSA CAE meeting on there, and he said that this year their fiscal year ends September 30th. He expects next year and the year after, both the next 2 years, so October 1 of this year, and October of the year coming after, are going to be big banner years. They expect to be being able to hire a lot in there, and they hire a lot of entry level folks. The government is a great employer for that, and they it gives you great experience in there. As far as other large employers on there, because in cybersecurity we're not tied to one industry. You're not until you actually specialize, until you actually get out there in the work environment. So for instance, I did a lot of energy company work, and so because I had experience in that, and so I did a lot of work protecting the infrastructures for energy companies. um you know, as a starting out right out of the box, you can go any place is looking for, multiple companies are looking for, whether it's a mom and pop shop or whether it is a Fortune 100 company. The way you're going to find those jobs again is through networking, so I mentioned LinkedIn, keeping your ear out there. I would also highly recommend, while you're in school, again, these clubs, the reason I put them out there is to get hands-on keyboard experience so you can cite in your resumes, so that when you're competing for a job, you can say, not only do I have the cert and I have the industry or I have the degree, but this is my hands-on keyboard. I was in these events. I was in the NCL, I was in CCDC on these clubs. Another great way to build experience right now while you're going to school would be working with nonprofits. Every nonprofit out there needs help securing their security. I guarantee that you can go talk to your local church, your local charity, your local, even a lot of the state governments are looking for people for different programs who are willing to donate their time. It may be free, it may be, you don't get paid for it, but you're building experience in there. And so those are my first initial thoughts. And I think if we had some more time to actually sit down and talk longer, I could come up with some more for you.
All right, so let's hit the next question, which has to do with our new program. So we have a program launching September 1st, and we have students starting August 1st. And so for those students starting August 1st, what does that mean for them? And the answer for that is that our first term is the very same as it would be for either program version. And so you can start in August, go through the courses as they would be, and then your program mentor will help you. Um, Migrate into the new program. And so there's not really an advantage to waiting for the new program. You can go ahead and get started, and things will count into the new program as well. Um, there, let me just take a beat. How many? There's a couple. How many classes will we take each term? You typically take 3 to 4 classes. They're 3 to 4 CUs each, and up to 12, and then you can take more. Does the program cover OT security at all? The BSCSIA and the MSCSIA have exposure level to OT technology, but we don't have anything in specific or a course specific to OT technology. Um, okay, there's some specific ones. Let me check the chat. Okay. We've had so many great questions here that I'm working to help everybody here get it. So we've been working. We have two enrollment counselors. So any specific questions that you have about, I have this certification, will it count, or I have this prior course, the general um, answer is it really depends, and it's based off of your conversations with the enrollment counselors. They'll coach you to put in a transcript of your prior coursework and also to send in your certifications. You can go to our partners site, and you can look and see at what transfers in, and then do a cross comparison there for a rough idea. But ultimately, you need to have your transcripts evaluated. All right. So for Ian, currently working on masters in linguistics, are there interesting roles that bridge between linguistics and cyber? I'll tell you, we have someone working here who has a PhD in linguistics and works quite a bit with AI. So the answer is yes, interesting, but we don't have anything super specific in our program that would make that map.
Hey, hey, I will say for that individual, and coming from work from the government on there, the NSA would hire you in a heartbeat. So if you have heavy linguistic capabilities as well as cyber capabilities, yeah, that would be an employer that I would if you want to go to work for the government, that is. But that would be one that I could think of right off the bat.
For Steve and Jonathan, who just asked about the new program. So the new program that is listed on our website, that's where you can go. So we just refreshed our website about 8 days ago, and so if you're new to our website and saying this is a new thing, you're only seeing the new program. But if you've been kind of talking with us for a month or longer, then there's an opportunity to be between the old program. But everything you see on the new website is the new part. Um, I'm going to ask that if you have a question that you want to answer, if you could submit it again, just because the chat got really busy and I'm a little bit behind on it. And then we'll kind of go from there. So I'm also answering Q&A questions on the side. So I think if I have a higher certification level, Sec Plus, would I have to take the courses for the lower level certs? Some certs count for more, but in this particular courses, like the A Plus and the Net Plus, that foundational knowledge is required for the program. There is, I would call it an unofficial bridge from the BSNES program into the master's program, and I want to say that two courses are covered, but it's not as much as the BSCSIA. Mike, if you want to take this one again, lots of job market concerns. Why is the job market saying they can't land? Why is the job market saying that applicants can't land a job despite having credentials and applying to a bunch of openings? So, I mean, a lot of this is circumstantial and the place where you live, but I think there's a lot of concern around the entry level positions.
Yeah, no, I mean it's absolutely a fair question. As far as are there jobs? Yes. Are there jobs in your where you live? I mean, if you live in a small town somewhere, there may not be a job there. You may have to do a remote job on there. Again, the big ones they're looking for. Um, when I was a CISO and I would hire individuals on there, and you come walking in with a stack of certifications, that would get you in the door. Okay, so that would get you the interview. So now you're sitting down there, and now I'm asking questions. I was like, well, that's great. You brought your stack of certifications in the door, and here's a whiteboard. Here's a marker. Here's the question. I need you to do X. How would you do it? And so that's where experience comes in. That's where, and obviously, if first job, you don't have experience. So the way again that you would get around that, the way that you can build that experience, because really, when you're doing an interview, they're looking at you for a couple things. One, they're looking at are you a good fit for the team? How you interact on questions, your soft skills. How do you talk? How do you, what are your answers? How energetic are you? How do you fit? What is your fit there? It's like meeting a new group of people. How do are you a fit for us based on how you are and your soft skills? So soft skills is part one. Part two is technical knowledge. Do you have the technical knowledge to do the job that we need you to do? So that's part two. Part three is, do you have any demonstration of that technical knowledge? So that could be things like, hey, I know I'm just graduating out, and but I was in the cyber club. I did these things. Here's a list of like all the different offensive and defensive um, things. And I want to throw you guys also throw you a special add-on for today only. Um, Made me think real quick. One of the things that we've implemented at WGU is an achievement wallet. And so I've implemented it starting last August we started it in started using it in the cybersecurity program, first program any out of all of WGU using the achievement wallet. And so what it does, it works with a company called IQ4. So you guys can Google that IQ4. And what it does is that you put in your resume into it, and then you keep adding your certifications into it, and then you keep adding your work experience and everything else that you've done. And it allows you to build a whole portfolio of your skills. It's a skills management system, and you can then customize it for your various job interviews in there. And it's a lifelong tool. It's for you from time you started WGU till the time you've graduated, and you're an alumni for life. And so it's a lifetime tool that allows you to track your lifelong learning. So that's one way that's going to be able to track that. But what I was going to say, that made me think about it was, again, I bring it back to, um, you know, don't be afraid to do work for charities. Don't be afraid to do external work for free to get the experience. Experience is that third leg that we're talking about when we're talking about interviews. You want to be able to cite some type of experience. You either gained it in college, you gained it in an internship, you've gained it through charitable work, you've gained it, you built your own network at home and you're doing X, Y, Z. You want to be able to describe to the interviewer, how do you know and what have you done on there. So again, that helps you get that, helps you get over that hump for during the job interview. The other thing I'd say is get your foot in the door. So don't be afraid to, if you get a cybersecurity degree and there's a job opening for a help desk at a company that you like, I would get, or the government, I would get into a role there, because it's much easier to do a lateral transfer once you're in a company or a government agency than to try to get in initially. So I would, if you can get your foot in the door, do it. Because that, again, once you're there and you're able to demonstrate your work, so you have a cybersecurity degree and you're doing help desk, but you're knocking it out of the park. When that next cybersecurity role opens up, they're going to say, "Hey, I remember that John or Jane Doe. They're working. They're superstars on there. They have a great work ethic, on there. And so, yes, let's bring them in to do that next role. So that's another part. So I don't know if I've muddied the waters or not, but that's my initial answer for you.
Great, thank you. And Mike, could you just talk a little bit more about how popular the CISSP is?
Yeah, the CISSP is like I said, the big three is the CISSP, the CISM, and the CAS Plus. CAS Plus is the most technical of the three. CAS Plus is showing a in-depth technical knowledge. Think like again, senior architect, senior security architect, enterprise architect, that kind of knowledge. CISM. The CISM is for leaders. The CISM is a test that is made for folks that are going to be doing a CISO role, a director role, a senior manager and above kind of role on there. It is designed, it has questions in there built around managing people, managing large processes within security. And so it's a leadership role. The CISSP is a broad breadth of security knowledge. It is a lot of times you'll hear it described as a mile wide and an inch deep, meaning that you're covering a mile wide worth of security topics, but the test is only testing you at a certain level. It's not going down. You don't have to show in-depth knowledge over every single thing. It's making sure that you have that broad breadth of knowledge. Um, like you said, the CISSP, um, one of the things I always tell students, as soon as you get out of the program, on there, we've had students do the same thing with our bachelor program. In fact, my boss, the senior VP, uh, his son went through our course, went through our program, the BSCSIA program, and went out and took the CISSP again with no prior experience, and passed it the first attempt the month after graduating. So I'm glad it was my boss's son that did that, and it bode well for made our program shine. But yeah, it is possible to do that. But again, those are really the three biggest certifications that are out there. Now, again, each of the certifications we have in our stack show different levels of knowledge. And so depending on what job you're putting in for, so for instance, A plus is computer hardware and software. Network plus is somebody who's going to be dealing with networks. They'll show the ins and outs of network security, ins and outs of how a network works, the different layers, how to hooks together. ITIL is a great one for folks that are going maybe into both regular security and are going into governance, in that they know that the process is, how do you deal with business in developing security practices and protocols, and how are those things implemented within the company. So each of those certifications covers a base of security that we offer.
All right, we have one final question, Mike. And so, I apologize. I see we have 208 people still here with us. And so thank you for
Well,
your
thank you for being here.
participation. And the final question is about IQ4 being free for WGU students to use. We're in partnership with it, and we have a digital wallet that you can have access to. And so that is part of the student package. But with that, a lot of the questions, I feel like we've gotten most of them. I probably missed some of them. That was a crazy chat. We just love the participation, and we'll have a few more people on next time. And so what we'll do here is refer you to our enrollment counselors. And so when you click apply, there will be someone very eager who would like to speak to you and can kind of take a lot of those questions. And so you can say, I have this background, I have these certs, and we can point you to the resources that either our partners page, where you can say, okay, this is what I have and this is what I think. And so, the point of this presentation was to give you a broad outline of what we are and what we're about. And we're happy to connect with you on those particulars as you look to apply. But we have a great program this year. We've had about 2,400 students graduate from our program this last year for just the bachelor's degree, and we've had about that many for the master's degree. And so we have a large and popular program, the largest one in the nation. And there you can read about us in lots of other places as well. If you think that maybe we're not telling you the truth, like go out and see and talk to people. But we'd be happy to have you choose our school and to come and check us out with our competency-based learning. So with that, let's go ahead and I'll hand it over to Mike for some final words, and then we'll end the presentation.
I just want to tell you, I would like to say thank you all for coming. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Um, for those of you who decide to come to WGU, you'll get an email from me on the first day. It has all my contact information in there. And I welcome you to shoot me emails, tell me what things are working, what things are not working, what things you'd like to see, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm always here. So again, thank you for your time today, and I wish everyone the best. Thanks a lot.